So back again looking at this Liebherr refrigerator. Last time I was here because the ice maker wasn't working. That's the model in serial. Try to zoom in. It's kind of hard to see, but it's HC2181 index 22E/237. And ice maker isn't working. And see the ice maker symbol flashing. So basically the manufacturer said you're gonna need a service kit. I'm gonna have to disassemble it and adjust some stuff in the freezer. But first I'm gonna turn off the freezer section. Just hold that. Okay, so freezer is off. Alright, so get my tools. I got a lot of towel. Let me get those prepared up. I'm gonna take the drawers out. That way I can get in the back of the freezer and get that evap cover off. Then I'll be back. Alright, so you can see I start to take the doors off. Just 2 screws on each side. Able to pull those out. Gonna have to remove the ice maker by removing these 2 screws. And one other thing to note, on testing this ice maker, you will have to push and hold the test button for at least a minute in order for this thing to harvest, for the forks to start to rotate. But first, before doing that, have to make sure that it's in the right mode and you actually close the reed sensors. Alright, so I took those 2 screws. I got the ice maker. Now I have to get the wire off. That way I can disassemble it. Alright, so I got the ice maker out. Just a little wire harness there. Get it off. And one thing I noticed, it does have a little water inside the ice maker. And look at the fill tube again. So that tells me it also needs a new water inlet valve assembly. That's going bad. Alright, let's get that cover off. Alright, so now that I got the cover off, you guys can see what's behind the evaporator cover. This right here was going to this connector. That is the 2 reed sensors. You can see them right there. One and the other one right here. So in order for the light to go out, you would need 2 magnets to kind of hold in these 2 locations in order for the light to go out. That way the system will pass power to the ice maker, so you could hit and hold that ice maker button for at least a minute according to the manufacturer. I'll set that over there. Alright, so let's look for the evaporator thermistor. Look how this thing is just all in case. So manufacturers say that the thermistor, which I think is one of these 2, this is definitely a thermistor here. This is a thermistor. He said it needs to be relocated. So look how encased this darn thing is. Let's take a look what's back here. Look how you have to be. That's one thermistor and the other one. Okay, so they say move it from down the bottom. You can't even see under here. You know, them saying, oh, just move the thermistor from the bottom down here, down the bottom, and locate it to the right on the upper section. And you come in here and you see the whole evaporator has this metal sheet and cover plate over it with this foam pad. So I'm going to get on the phone, call the manufacturer, and they say they can video talk me, so I can see how the heck is best to relocate the thermistor to fix the issue I'm having with excessive frost building up on the evaporator cover and causing the freezer section to not get as cold as it's supposed to. I believe the last time when I was out here, freezer temperature was at 9 degrees, I believe. And see the wire harness for the ice maker. You got green, power coming in, neutral, and this 10 must be going back to the valve, so that looks like it's 120. Evaporator fan, got an accumulator right here. This what this big old ball is, and this where the caliper tube comes into the evaporator, and this is the discharge line. So let me give them a call and call back. All right, y'all, so I just got off the phone with the manufacturer, and basically what they're telling me is to cut the evaporator in half. No, I'm kidding, not the evaporator, just the cover on the evaporator. This cover here. They told me to cut it straight down the middle, which I did. So look at that, cut it straight in half. I had to remove the sensor here because these wires are so tight. All right, so you have two sensors, well, two other sensors. This is actually a thermistor as well. So this sensor here is measuring the air temperature. It was on the front of the evap coil. And then you have this other white one that runs down and come all the way under the bottom of the evaporator coil, somewhere down here where my finger is touching. And basically they're saying that we will have to pull that out and actually put it here someplace on top of the evaporator. I'm going to show you guys once I get to it. But I was on the phone with the engineer at Liebherr manufacturer, and I was letting them know that, you know, hey, even when I pulled this fill tube off, it had a little ice in it, and that looks like a heater probe or something. And I was also letting them know that the ice maker did have a little water in it, like it was having a water inlet issue. And once I cut this open, I can still see the coil all iced up still. So it was about to start back, look at that, and started appearing again on the evaporator cover, and surely was about to stop cooling again. So basically what the manufacturer is telling me, because this, you can see the thermistor, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's really hard to see, but it's right in there. It's right in there. Look at that. And you know, I was hoping to kind of just popped it down and kind of just, you could see the wire, reroute it, but the thermistor is actually in a channel within the evap coil. So I would have to defrost all this ice and actually pull it back through the hole that it's running through here. That way, then pull it back up and then relocate it along the top there. That is a pain in the neck to do. It is all frozen up, but the way they have it run into the evap coil, you know, through a hole, it's like They drill a hole straight through and just slide it in. It's not easy to get out at all. Definitely not an easy repair, but look at that. And another weird thing is, you see how it's forming ice? This is also will be a symptom of, say for instance, the drain will be clogged and you have water pooling here and it cannot drain. So the evaporator fan will be running and that will pull the moisture up into the coil, and it will cause the same effect. You know, so this will throw you off too. You look at the coil and be like, oh, got a clogged defrost drain system. Not with this Liebherr. You better think again. You know, look at all that. And the last time, you know, it was all up on the cover here, on the evap cover. I had to defrost it. But, yeah, basically pulling this all the way back out and relocate it somewhere over here. So I'm just waiting for my steamer to heat up. It looks like it's green. I'm about to get that done, and then we'll see where else we go from here. Getting the coil all defrosted. Pretty iced up. You guys got to be careful not to bend or damage these the stem of the coil. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, trying to get all of it defrosted. Appreciate you guys tuning in with me. Please hit up that like button, subscribe button. Make sure you check that little notification bell to keep up to date with all the new video releases. Yeah, y'all, look at that. It's definitely in a hole. Gotta slide it all the way out of the hole, which is in the evaporator coil. And this is razor sharp. You gotta make sure not to slice your finger off while doing this. Look at that. Yeah, it's in a little hole there. So I got this out. Now I have to pull it up. Look how it's in there. I gotta remove this foam here. And then try to pull this up. Pull it up. And basically, according to the manufacturer, this is the accumulator. So just to slide it in right here. They also have what they call a thermistor strap that you could put onto this to hold it in place. But he said it's not necessary. Basically, the issue is the thermistor being down the bottom is now throwing off the control, letting it think that it is too cold. You don't want to get it too far down there. They say only about the first. You can see it where it is. I'm gonna leave it right there. And basically that's all they say that's needed. I mean, can you believe it? I'm gonna try and conceal this wire as best as possible. I would tie wrap it, but I most likely have to come back to, because that valve looked like it's going bad, the water valve. So most likely when I come back, I'm just gonna put a tie wrap there. But that's all it is. You see it's draining properly, so that's not the issue. The coil is mostly all de-iced, which is good. Now close that. Close that. Look at that, huh? Ain't that a mess? But that's what the manufacturer said we have to do. Then I can put this back here. Screw that back on. Bear with me, guys. Get that hole lined up. Alright, so I got that back where it is. This is for the reed switch. This is the external. Alright, so let me get this cover back on and see how it looks. Hello, so I just left that job working on that Liebherr refrigerator, HC20.
In half a mile,
HC20,
turn left on Southeast Dixie Highway.
So that was HC2081, 22E is the index. Yeah, so took me a little bit over an hour to get that done. I had to defrost the coil, cut the evaporator cover plate in half. That way I can pull the thermistor back through, the evaporator thermistor back through that little hole in the evaporator. That way I can relocate it to the top of the evaporator coil. Yeah, but it took a little while to get done. It wasn't as simple as the manufacturer made it out to be when they were describing what needs to be done. But yeah, I got it done, and yeah, I'm hoping. They say give it 24 hours.
In 1,000 feet, turn left.
And then see what, you know, if everything return back to normal. So I'm gonna call the property manager tomorrow and check in on it. Yeah, but that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching the video to the end. If you guys, for the ones that's still watching, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Make sure you hit up that like button, share button, tick that little notification bell.
Turn left on Southeast Dixie Highway.
Share this content with someone that you think that may find it helpful or appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Geo out.